We'll have a little read of this, and this again is from Grok, which is the AI on X, right? So you might declare, well, look, there's going to be it's going to be biased because Elon Musk made it, whatever, right? This is talking about Sweden and the demographic shift that they've had to endure. I would say endure more than experience, right? And the response of successive governments and the people to that, right? It's probably a decade or so ahead of Ireland. So we have Sweden has indeed seen significant shifts in its immigration and deportation policies in recent years, with a focus on reducing the number of migrants entering the country and facilitating the return of those without legal grounds to stay. So policy shifts. Sweden, once known for its open door policy towards migrants. Remember Ireland, the Céad Míle Fáilte, right? European trade, Northwestern European trade. The country's government has introduced measures aimed at reducing asylum approvals, raising the minimum salary requirements for work permits, and promoting voluntary repatriation with financial incentives. Deportation plans. Sweden has been actively deporting migrants who do not have legal rights to remain in the country. Perfectly rational, right? In 2024, Sweden was among the top countries in the EU for enforced migrant returns, with 3,185 deportations in the second quarter alone. The government has also discussed plans to check migrant smartphones for evidence of destroyed passports to expedite deportations. Again, common sense, right? Voluntary repatriation. There's a push for voluntary repatriation where migrants are offered financial assistance to return to their home countries. How much would you pay in Ireland? Do you think that's a reasonable thing to do? You'd certainly be withholding the money until they land in wherever they're going anyway. You wouldn't be giving it to them outright, would you? So look, Sweden is now showing that after decades of conducting these experiments on their native peoples, they've had enough of it, right? Sweden became, I believe it was second in the world one of the years behind an African country for the rape rates, right? And they've decided they've had enough, right? And the country is beginning to swing in another direction, which I would simply call a self-preservation direction. It doesn't need to be political. It can be purely instinctual and biological, right? Work from the ground up instead of trying to decide what reality is based on an idea that you've been given. Work from the ground up. People are dying. People are being hurt. Lives are being destroyed from the policies, right? From the importation of tens of thousands of these people, right? And history is the same. History will tell you all you need to know about this. When you force different populations to live together, conflict arises, particularly different populations that are different racial groups, right? Conflict arises. It's understandable. It's normal, right? It's natural. It is what it is. You know, we need not apply any sort of morality to it. It is what it is. So Sweden look like they're after swinging towards a self-preservation approach to politics and governance. And I would just say in terms of the Irish context, probably being a few years behind Sweden, but catching up quick, right? This can be done. And it is being done. And it will be done. All Irish people have to do is be able to say again, I don't want this anymore. I don't want this anymore. And anybody that's promoting this, they're certainly not speaking on my behalf. And if they are attempting to speak on my behalf, I will go to them and tell them that they do not. Right? And we will get change through that mechanism, right? But it's, look, there's no learning without a bit of suffering along the way. And the Irish we are foundationally stubborn, right? We learn lessons hard. We try and suffer things and make sense of them and move on. But it's very rare that we all come together and go, you know what, let's change something, right? But we can see across Europe now that the winds of change we're in the middle of it, right? And it can be done and it is being done, and we should have it done in this land too.